Hello, I'm Pastor Joe, and I want to welcome you to Impacts. Now, Impacts is a video series where I try to help you nurture your faith in, your commitment to, and your relationship with Jesus Christ. You know, because we believe the Bible is not like all of the other books we have, we believe it has a unique authority and role in our lives. It can sometimes be intimidating. But you know, I think that the better we understand the Bible, the way it's laid out in its structure, the easier it is to get into it and to understand it. This series that we're in now, Understanding the Bible, is to help us do that, to understand how the Bible's put together, how it is structured and laid out. So come on, let's get started. You know, ultimately, the Bible is one book that tells one story. But it gets more complicated than that. Because you see, we believe that this one book is made up of 66 different books. There's 39 Old Testament, 27 New Testament. We believe generally that there's at least 37 different authors that contributed to the writing of the Bible. It spans a time frame of over 2,000 years. No wonder many people find it intimidating or overwhelming. You know, over the years, there's one question my kids have learned to hate. Whenever they get into a project or something that tends to be larger than what they were expected, and they tend to start kind of tensing up and getting anxious, I always ask them this question. How can one person eat an elephant? And they just roll their eyes because they know the answer that's coming. The answer is one bite at a time. And the same really idea goes with understanding the Bible. It can be overwhelming, but if we break it down into smaller sections, we can better understand that. Now, I've said several times that the Bible as a whole is divided into the Old Testament and New Testament. The Old Testament can typically be divided into 4 different sections. You've got the historical books, you've got the poetry and wisdom writings, you've got the major prophets, and you have the minor prophets. So today I want us to spend some time looking at that first section, the historical books. You know, there are actually 17 books that are included in the historical writings of the Old Testament. But the first 5 are singled out, and they're called together the Pentateuch. And those books are Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. These 5 books are generally attributed to Moses. Now, if I'm going to summarize the Torah, I'm going to say that it is the beginning. In the Torah, in these 5 books, we learn of the beginning of creation, how the earth was formed and how God formed not only creation and animals, but humans as well. We see the formation of the Hebrew people and being called and set apart. We see the giving of God's law, the beginning of the law, the giving of that law. We see the beginning or the birthing of the people of Israel. And the Pentateuch continues to the point where Israel is about to enter into the Promised Land. It ends with the death of Moses as Israel is poised to lay claim to the promise that God has given them. Well, look, my challenge to you is during this week, I want you to turn to the Pentateuch, those first 5 books, take a look through them, read some sections of it, skim through it. What I want you to do is get an idea of what is in this section. What stories are there? What is the flow of the ongoing story of God and His people as we go? Well, look, I hope that you will like this video. I also want to encourage you to share it so others will get to watch it. And then I hope that you will join me next week. We're going to look at the rest of the historical books of the Old Testament. Until next week, I pray that God's blessings will be with you.